Number 10. In 1957, if you wanted a car that looked like it could double as a spaceship and a nightclub, the Lincoln Premier was your ride. Big, bold, and unapologetically glamorous, the '57 Premier was Lincoln's answer to Cadillac's high society dominance, and it didn't whisper. Under the hood, the Premier packed a 368 V8 that pumped out 300 horsepower. This was a car built less for racing and more for making an entrance, preferably in front of a country club. The 1957 Premier was longer than a modern Chevy Suburban. It also had taillights that resembled jet exhausts, because of course it did. That year, Lincoln even tried marketing it as a road yacht, which, given the size, wasn't far off. Number 9. Back in 1955, Chrysler decided it was time to wake up the American auto industry, and they did it with a snarl. The Chrysler C300, a big burly brute that looked like a banker and drove like a bouncer. It's often called America's first muscle car, and honestly, that's not just marketing fluff. The C300 got its name from the 300 horsepower Hemi V8 under the hood. That was serious firepower at the time, especially when your average sedan struggled to hit half that. The 5.4-liter V8 came with solid lifter cams, dual 4-barrel carburetors, and a roar that sounded like it was gargling gravel. It wasn't just loud, it was fast. The C300 could hit 130 miles per hour, making it one of the quickest cars of its day. NASCAR took notice, and the C300 went on to dominate the 1955 stock car racing season. Only 1,725 were made, making them rare and highly collectible today. Number 8. The '57 T-Bird was the final year of the first-generation Thunderbirds, which Ford called personal luxury cars. But for a small group of lucky and probably fast-footed buyers, Ford offered the F-code Thunderbird, a factory supercharged beast. This version came with a 312 V8, topped with a Paxton McCulloch centrifugal supercharger. The result? 300 horsepower and a massive 439 torque. The supercharged T-Bird was no slouch, hitting 0 to 60 in around 6 seconds, downright blistering for the era. Its top speed hovered near 130 miles per hour, plenty swift to ruffle anyone's perfectly styled pompadour. With a curb weight under 3,400 pounds, the power-to-weight ratio made it a legit performer for its time. Only about 212 supercharged Thunderbirds were built in 1957, making them incredibly rare today. That exclusivity, plus the punch under the hood, makes the F-code T-Bird a holy grail for collectors. Number 7. The 5860 Special was part of the post-war American car boom, big, flashy, and unapologetically excessive. Designed by Bill Mitchell, it measured over 18 feet long and dripped chrome like it was going out of style. The rear tail fins looked ready for liftoff, and the body had enough stainless trim to build a small airplane. Under the hood, it was powered by a 365 V8, producing 310 horsepower, and mated to a 4-speed Hydra-Matic automatic transmission. It wasn't just about looking good. This beast could move, though let's be honest, it wasn't going to win any drag races. Driving a '58 Fleetwood is like floating down the road in your living room, if your living room had power everything. Windows, seats, steering, brakes, and enough insulation to muffle a brass band. The '60 Special didn't have the usual Cadillac script on the side. That was intentional. If you didn't already know it was a Cadillac, you didn't deserve to know. Number 6. In 1957, Pontiac decided it was time to throw off its grandpa car image and crash the party of America's muscle-bound cruisers. The Bonavville debuted as a limited edition convertible, with only 630 units built. It came standard with fuel injection. Yes, in 1957. That was space-age stuff back then. Its 347 cubic inch V8 with Rochester fuel injection cranked out a healthy 315 horsepower, helping it sprint to 60 in 8.1 seconds, which was pretty fast for 1957, especially for a car with white walls and tail fins big enough to slice bread. That kind of performance was enough to make even Corvette owners do a double take. And since the Bonavville was named after the famous salt flats, it had a reputation to live up to. Number 5. Chevy gave the Impala its own identity in 1959, no longer just a Bel Air trim. And they didn't hold back. The body was longer, lower, and wider than before, with a teardrop rear window and tail fins that looked like they were designed by someone watching a sci-fi double feature. The horizontal cat's eye taillights were unique to the 59, and people either loved them or thought the car was winking at them. Under the hood, the real party started. Enter the 348 cubic inch V8 with the tri-power setup, 3 two-barrel carburetors feeding a healthy dose of fuel and attitude. Depending on the configuration, the 348 could churn out up to 335 horsepower, making this Impala a full-sized missile in a world still trying to figure out what muscle car even meant. That over-the-top styling? It helped make the 59 Impala one of Chevy's best-selling models of the year. Number 4. Launched by Ford under its brand-new Edsel division, the Citation sat at the top of the lineup. This was the luxury flagship, the Cadillac fighter, the chrome-drenched dreamboat. It came in hardtop coupe and convertible flavors and was meant to scream success. Instead, it mostly whispered, "What the heck is that grill?" The Citation packed a 410 cubic inch MEL V8 under the hood, churning out a respectable 345 horsepower. That's a lot of beef for 1958, and made it one of the most powerful cars in its class. The ride was smooth, the seats were sofa-like, and it had more chrome than a Las Vegas wedding chapel. The Edsel was named after Edsel Ford, son of Henry Ford, but the line was discontinued after just 3 years. The Citation itself only lasted 1 model year, making it a rare sight today. Number 3. Introduced as the top-of-the-line DeSoto, the Adventurer was a limited production model with only 1,950 units built, all of them two-door hardtops or convertibles. Under the hood sat a 345 cubic inch Hemi V8, making 345 horsepower, a neat 1 horsepower per cubic inch. Backed by a Torque Flight 3-speed automatic, it could hit 0 to 60 in about 7.2 seconds, an impressive feat for a car that weighed nearly 2 tons and resembled a parade float. DeSoto was one of the first automakers to fully embrace Virgil Exner's forward-look design, and the 57 Adventurer was a showcase of fins, flair, and futuristic fantasy. Sadly, DeSoto as a brand was already on shaky ground, and despite the Adventurer's swagger, the writing was on the wall. The model survived until 1960, and the brand bowed out a year later. Number 2. The 300C was part of Chrysler's famed Letter series, and 1957 was a standout year. Why? Because it came packing a 392 cubic inch Hemi V8, one of the most legendary engines of the era. With 375 horsepower in the standard version, and up to 390 horsepower with optional dual quads, this brute could go from 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Only 1,918 coupes and 484 convertibles were built, making the 57 300C a rare and valuable collectible today. It came fully loaded with power everything, leather upholstery, and a ride smooth enough to make potholes feel like polite suggestions. Number 1. The Turnpike Cruiser was initially introduced in 1957 as Mercury's flagship, aimed at drivers who liked their cars loud in both volume and style. In 1958, the Cruiser got even flashier. It had everything: rear fender skirts and a retractable rear window called the breezeway, perfect for messing up your passenger's hair. But beneath the chrome and extravagance was something serious: a 330 Super Marauder V8 packing a whopping 400 horsepower. That made it the first American factory engine to break the 400 horsepower barrier in a production car. It's a real shame this powerful engine isn't in a muscle car where it could really shine. Only 100 Super Marauder engines were built, making them rare today and highly sought after by collectors.